Hello everybody, my name is Mike Taylor and this is
Adam Jones. Welcome to the 2019 Harbin Course Challenge Series. This is our final round action for the front 10 of the MPO lead card.
We'd like to quick thank our sponsors, No Bogey Disc Golf and Disc and Dat. Starting out, leading off the round, we got Zach Arlinghaus, sponsored by Dynamic Discs. He's a local hometown hero for us, so we'll see what he's got on hole one.
It looks like he got over on that one a bit, but he gives him a good spot. He should be able to get up and down no problem.
Yeah, Zach asked me before he threw that if that felt like a destroyer. That was a DD Raider. And I said, sure does. Showed him my Star Destroyer I'm throwing here.
High and right.
Yeah, today was a different day for the wind. Typically at Harbin Park, the wind's coming straight down the hill from the water tower, and today with the storms, it was coming in more left to right on these first couple holes.
Yeah, weather definitely a factor for everybody.
Yeah, you can see the river on the tee pad.
Yeah.
Scottie, it was great to play with him. It was my first time playing with him. He's one of those kids that's got a huge arm, a lot ahead of him for disc golf, and he can throw a putter a long way. He's throwing a star T-bird off the tee here. Probably would have driven past the basket had that gotten by that.
And the wind's going to be a factor on most of the putts and approaches today. Good call there.
Absolutely. I didn't really have much visibility on this shot from where I was. I just wanted to get my putter up, let the wind do the work, turn it over, and hope it landed under the basket. Looks like Scott and Danny are going to be looking at some jump putts into a headwind here. See if they can capitalize.
I gave it a chance.
So here's Danny. He's a Team Prodigy street team. Been playing for a couple years locally. Mostly an advanced player. Him and Scott were testing the waters in Open today.
Bunch of tap-ins.
Hole 1 was actually recently aced at the last tournament here, and a roaring headwind as well. Quite a good shot.
There hasn't been too many aces on it.
This is another interesting shot from Zach. He's a lefty backhand thrower, and I asked him why he decided to go right-hand forehand there. He just said he feels a little bit more comfortable throwing right-hand forehand as compared to the left-hand backhand hyzer shot, and that worked out well for him.
What are you throwing here, Mike?
That's just a Champion T-bird. Again, I try to let the wind do a little bit of work, try not to rip over on it too much and turn over.
Yeah, I'm usually throwing a mid, but a day like today, discing up and powering down is usually a better result for you.
Yeah, you're a rock guy. I'm sure you probably were grabbing a KC rock or something. Is that what you're throwing?
Yeah, I love my flat top rocks.
Scottie here is throwing a D-line P2. Like I said, he's a specialist with the putters. He can throw them a long way, and he is throwing a lot of zones as well today. We'll see it on future holes. He's got great form.
Came out a little flat.
Scott got his first win this year, playing intermediate division at the Boone Woods Ice Bowl. It was a big win for him. Get a little confidence built there.
Just right. That very strong putter.
Yeah, what would you say Zach's known for at this stage in his disc golf game?
Well, all the rounds I've seen, he's one of the better putters in town. It's rare that he does miss. If he does miss, it's rarely close to the center. It's usually just off of it. But being in town, a lefty in town, usually is a disadvantage since most of your courses tend to favor the right-handed player, which doesn't work out for him too well since he hasn't developed that left-hand forehand well enough yet.
Yeah, Zach is a no-fear player. He tends to step up any range within 100 and gives it a go. I love that about him.
He's playing the wide. Annie.
Yeah, he's throwing a
Good
getaway
spot.
there. Looks like it worked out. Pin high, about 30 right.
Not everybody takes elevation into play sometimes. You'd be surprised how much required distance it adds to your throw.
So for some of you who don't really know a whole lot about Zach Arlinghaus, this kid's amazing. Last year at the 2018 Worlds, he finished third in the 15 and under division. And then at U.S. Nationals, he finished second and only lost by 2 strokes. So he's definitely getting to some big stages early on in his career and performing at a high level.
Hate to see that early release. Happens too often to many of us.
Yeah, there's not a ton of trees at Harbin, but when you find them, you're in trouble because you can see all this undergrowth.
It's like, how do you find them?
Yeah.
I think we all found some that day.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about the psychology of playing a rain round in your experience.
Well, most of the time when it is raining, we're not out there throwing it. We usually choose not to. But days like today, when you're competing, you don't have that choice. And obviously, it's not an easy decision to go out when it's nasty out. One, it's usually not good for the course. You're usually better off staying away from the courses when in these conditions. But for me, there's times where I might use a towel a lot, and then there's times where I just give up on the towel and just get used to the rain and wet putters, wet hands, and just adapt. Usually, I'm not trying as hard, playing safer shots.
Right. You mentioned there Zach's putting abilities. He just hit a 30-foot headwind putt, and he did it very confidently and very easily.
Yeah, you can see the rain is starting to come down harder now. The weather, it was bouncing back and forth on the rain, drizzling, heavy, stop, on and off, on and off.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but a lot of people wait all year for the course challenge opening at Harbin, especially some of the temp hole layouts. It's kind of a hallmark tournament that the club has done with the Flying Pig, and for really a long time there's really been a trademark temp layout here that everybody looks forward to. It was just a shame we got the weather we did.
Yeah, you can't always plan for the weather. Zach's still hanging in tight.
The local rumor on this hole is interesting.
Yeah.
Simon Lizotte came and played a tournament, I think it was Angry Sun, probably 2-3 years ago, and rumor has it he put it within 100 feet on this hole.
That's a pretty solid rumor. Too bad no one caught that one on film. And that's the other thing we mentioned earlier. Normally you got a strong headwind on this hole. This is one of the rare occasions we actually enjoy a tailwind.
Yeah, it makes for letting it, getting a rip out there.
Yeah, you got to get that height.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing the most understable destroyer I have in my bag and hoping that the wind brings it back.
Yeah.
Not worrying about the angle too much. Just turning it over, letting the wind bring it back. And this looked great when he let go of it. I thought this would have had a chance to go in or parked. And these holes play a little bit longer in the rain.
Yeah.
This doesn't always go as far as you thought it would.
Yeah, no, most of the time we're actually trying to get another 80, 90 feet up that hill on the left to give us a better shot down to the basket. Throwing up at it does hurt your distance.
So off the tee, Zach went with the Moonshine Defender here, and I'm thinking he's throwing another driver here, possibly a Felon.
Yeah, that looks stable like a felon.
And Danny's another guy. I haven't played a tournament with him, I don't think ever. I was very impressed with his game. As you can see there, cashes in a huge, probably 45 footer, a little bit uphill. Zach is trying to do the same here.
Ooh, that was close.
I always appreciate an opportunity to get together with Zach and his dad, Ben Arlinghaus. Ben and Zach are, two great guys, and right now Zach signed up for the Ledgestone Open. He signed up for Bowling Green AMs and already U.S. Nationals, so he's got a lot of big things ahead of him, and he suffered an unfortunate injury at the Next Gen.
Right.
In the fall. He actually had a hamstring muscle separate from his bone, from what his dad was telling me.
Yep.
And took a lot of time to recover from that over the winter. He's just getting confidence in that leg back.
And part of that was the doctor's initial review of it was they thought it was something else.
Yeah, misdiagnosed it.
Yep. So he was trying to rehab something that wasn't actually hurt. That set him back a bit.
And Zach is also going through a little bit of a growth spurt. He's grown quite a bit the last 6 months here, so that's added a lot of distance to his throws.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing what he can, as he still grows, what more, how much better he's gonna be and what he's capable of.
Yeah, we've all kind of seen him develop over the years. 2 years ago, I went with him and Ben to a tournament in Evansville, Indiana, where Zach actually, in Open, set the course record at a new course against Paul Lohman and Zach Johnson. He shot a 1041 rated round.
Nice. Against
some really steep competition. I actually had the chance to play with him that round. He was just birdieing everything, hitting lines, sinking putts, doing what he normally does.
Yeah, it's great to have those days when everything clicks. You're just on it. Need more of those. I don't know if that was a misjudge or wind got him.
I think the wind got him. We all thought that looked really great off the tee.
Yeah. Sometimes you might get a good idea of where the wind's coming. Sometimes it's easy to misjudge it. And if you get that angle, if you expose that underside of that disc, it'll push it pretty far.
So another part of Scott's game that I was incredibly impressed with was his ability to throw a lot of forehand buzz shots. I think that's a buzz there, a Macbeth buzz. And especially with a headwind, it's not always easy to throw mid-ranges on a forehand line.
And that one, he didn't need to put that much of a hyzer angle on it. He was better off doing flat because that hyzer hit that ground. He got a much more of a roll and skip away from the basket.
Right. So here I'm thinking, time to cash a big putt. Zach's got a couple strokes on me. I need to do some work here. Looked good out of my hands.
The dreaded roll.
Hyzered a little too much.
Yeah.
Perfect angle, roll away.
Happens to the best of us. Good line, just a tad high. With the comeback putt. Just to the hair right there.
Yeah. It was a challenging day, but
yeah,
you gotta move on, focus on your next putt. That's all you can do.
Yeah, we've all been there, right, mate?
Yeah, there's a local player, Dave Harrison. Shout out to Dave Harrison. He's got all these rules about disc golf. I believe rule number 12 is clean it up and move on.
Yeah.
Love hearing his take on the game.
Come on.
Here's a good
Hey.
pull.
Yeah, this was almost looking like an ace run. The wind kind of stalled it out a little
Yeah.
bit at the end.
Yeah, this is one I almost expect to get within the circle every time.
Yeah, there's jail on the right side. Zach kind of finds it, but
Yeah.
you can see right off the tee here, you do not want to go in there. It's almost an instant bogey if you go in there.
Yeah, in fact, that's where I ended up. Misjudged my throw. Wind got it, pushed me right in there.
So again, Scott showing some of his power there. That's a star T-bird on a 320-foot uphill hole. He kind of made it look pretty easy. Outdrove the basket. It's going to have a comeback putt. And again, this is another one of those where if you find it, good luck.
And that's funny you say it because that's about where my second shot was.
Yeah.
Tried to punch out and overdid a little bit, put me right in there. And I ended up with a far straddle out sidearm blind around it, and
Yeah.
lucky for me, I actually hit it.
So funny story, that umbrella that's sticking into the ground by Zach's bag,
Yeah.
you can see in the right corner of the frame. It rained the entire first round. Zach didn't have an umbrella, asked his dad to bring the umbrella, and Zach didn't use it the whole second round.
Not once?
He might have opened it once, and then I think it got bent, and Ben had to throw it away in a trash can at some point because it just got mangled up.
Yeah, I saw one or two people out there where they didn't realize the wind direction and destroyed their umbrella. Just folded it.
Yeah, you see me put my jacket back on there. This rain
Come
and the
back.
weather, it would stop and start. So you take your umbrella out, put your jacket on. The rain would, come down real heavy. Then it would stop, and you have to take it off again because it wasn't that cold. It was kind of a warmer day,
Yeah.
and you're out playing.
Yeah, we were lucky with the warmth. Cold and rain, nobody likes that. That's miserable.
So just a little bit more about Zach Arlinghaus. Just incredibly impressed with the growth of where his game's at. 2 years ago, he was in the low 900s. He's up around 963 right now. And other than a couple of his bids at the AM Worlds and AM Nationals, a lot of his game is pro ready, wouldn't you say, Adam?
Definitely. I mean, he can hold his own with some of those guys for sure. And he's been playing a while. He's got the skills, a little more experience. And when in doubt, he'll be locally, he'll be the guy to beat. Because he'll be beating everybody else.
We know locally he's going to be beating us, but how about making that jump to like a tour life? Trying to go on tour and make a dent at these majors and disc golf pro tour events.
I know he wants
Great
to.
putt there by Danny.
Yeah, that was a good putt. Another good putt. There you go, Mike.
Yeah,
But
looks
that's all
good when they go in.
Yeah. Definitely he wants to. I know he plays other sports, but I'm pretty sure his heart is in disc golf. There's a rare miss.
Yeah, he's an excellent basketball player. Don't let his height fool you. He's an excellent basketball player. I believe he still plays baseball.
Yeah, I don't think I want to play him in basketball.
He'd probably cross you over a couple times, wouldn't he?
Yeah. End up with a twisted ankle for sure.
Yeah, Zach's got a lot of mental toughness too. That's one thing that a lot of us talk locally about him in his rating in the 960s. He's got a huge ceiling, but he just doesn't make a ton of big mistakes. He's already a very consistent player. He's almost putting for birdie on just about every hole. It's just kind of a matter of whether he makes the putt or not. He also has this really unique step putt. When he's in that 60, 70 foot range, he kind of takes a step or two, jumps at it, and goes in more often than not. I actually took this hyzer line.
Yeah. Nice shot.
First round, and this round is my first time throwing PDGA hyzer line. The wind was very conducive. It was coming right to left, tailwind. Threw a gator up into that wind and just hoped that it dropped in time. But normally I go a putter turnover down that gap. And Zach's throwing a harp there on a great shot. That's a great line. Here's Scott throwing another, I think this is a buzz forehand, showing off his skills.
Little strong, but he's right there. This would be a nice one if we get to fix this course up, maybe make this an elevated basket.
Yep.
Ooh. You almost bit it.
It was sloppy, to say the least, around the baskets, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the Hayden McClellan holding the catch cam down there, before he walked down there, he asked me to please ace it. I gave him the best run I could. Didn't quite go in, but did my best, Hayden.
You're close. I had a similar shot on 13. Almost hit it. This hole I love throwing on.
You throwing turnover down the middle, or are you going hyzer over the right side? What's your approach on this hole?
Today I played the wider hyzer because of the conditions and stuff. Normally, if there's no wind, calm day, I'm usually piping something right down the middle. Usually straight, stable.
One of your
flow.
Valkyries?
Yeah, usually a Val.
Scott's throwing a Sexton Firebird 400 feet. I think he went long.
He's putting at it. I'll take that one any day. Take on a high turn.
Yeah, at this stage in the game, Adam, we're all kind of figuring out how to battle the rain. All our towels are soaked at this point. It's just, get up and throw. Try to think beforehand. Just get up and throw before your disc gets wet. You can see Zach here trying to get his disc dry. That's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Danny had a great drive here. I really like that forehand line down the middle. Again, this was some pretty good wind for it. Tail cross wind. He's got a good forehand. I like that line.
Here comes the heavy stuff. I think a lot of times players tend to play a little faster because of this.
Oh, great putt.
Nice. Took his time.
Yeah, I like seeing him cash that one.
Easy cleanups.
I joked around with Zach before he went and got our putters. I asked him if he brought his fishing pole.
Yeah, I usually joke with people when I see them put it in there and say, that's OB. 10. Still miss the tree on the right we used to have, but the bush is working.
Check this line out, Adam. You ever seen that one?
Do that on purpose?
I was standing off to the right side. I got a good look at it, and it literally missed about 4 different trees by less than 3 feet. But he got through. He's going to have a look at it.
Yeah. Well, he got through that one. That's what usually gets some people. It's one of those tees where the entire area around the tee was just destroyed. It's going high over the bush. Did you catch some of the bush on that one?
Yeah, I was intending to go more up the middle, kind of on a little bit of a flex line to get that distance, because throwing uphill with this headwind coming down is really tough to really get it within the circle, give yourself a chance for a birdie.
Got it.
Zach said he birdied that first round, and he threw that same stall out turnover shot. believe it was a getaway. Same thing he threw on hole 3. You can see that umbrella starting to get pushed around. And there's that step putt he's got.
Yeah. Kid's got skills, man.
Yeah, we started talking a little bit about it, but, making that jump, having high expectations. I know he has high expectations for himself, but what can you say about managing expectations as he gets older and starting to really get that rating up over 1,000 rated, as I'm sure you'll get, and starting to compete in these bigger events?
Well, one thing is, having the skills, being physically ready to compete multiple rounds, but it takes time to develop the good mental side. I mean,
yeah,
you can be good, and if you have a bad day, bad round, a lot of bad shots, that can really wear on you, especially when you start putting other pressures like the travel, money. That can put a lot of weight on your shoulders that you're not normally used to.
Does he remind you of anybody? You've been in the game a long time, Adam, since before 2000. Who does he kind of remind you of when they were younger?
Oh, I like to say me, but it was. I played when I was younger, but I didn't take the competition side as serious.
Scottie,
yeah,
Scottie's such a sport.
Come on, there you go, Scottie.
All right, that was the front 10 final round coverage. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We're looking forward to some great action on the back 10, and hope you're going to stay with us during the rain.
Yep, stay tuned for more action.